Hello and welcome to another video of Expired Bren. Today I'm going to be talking to you not about expired film, but actually some of my favorite cameras that I own. These cameras, or series of cameras, are the Zeiss Ikon Ikontas. Ikontas, I don't know. Anyways, these cameras are folding cameras like this one here. There are two types of Ikonta cameras. The first one is the plain Ikonta. That one is without a rangefinder. This one is the Super Ikonta that comes with a rangefinder. Now I own three Ikonta models. This here is the Ikonta 532. This is a 6x6 medium format camera, and it comes with a 80mm f2.8 Carl Zeiss Ikon Tessar lens. So a pretty decent lens for such a small package. Now this lens was produced, as well as this camera, sometime in the 1930s. I think 1937, so this is a pretty old camera. Even so, it produces some amazing images, as you can see here. The second Ikonta that I own is actually a standard Ikonta model. That means it does not come with a rangefinder. Instead, is a viewfinder window that you flip up through here to look through. It's a 6x6 model as well. And this one's a little newer. This one's probably from the 1940s, 50s, or late 40s, early 50s. It comes with a, I wouldn't say a much worse lens, but a lens that just isn't so highly regarded. That is a Novar and Stigmat. I don't know how to pronounce that. See, there's so many words in photography. You always see spelled out, but you never see pronounced. So it's a Novar and Stigmat. It is a considerably slower lens at f4.5, same focal length. And although it is a less regarded lens, it is a coated lens, whereas the pre-war 1930s Super Ikonta is not a coated lens, and that's going to yield different results when it comes to contrast and just if you're shooting with color and how the color comes out and how it deals with flare. Even with this lesser lens though, you're working with 120 medium format, so you're going to have still this insane level of quality and fidelity in each image, as you can see here. The third camera that I own is an Ikonta 521. This one, much like the Super Ikonta, is from the 1930s. It also comes with a fantastic uncoated pre-war Carl Zeiss Ikon Tessar. Now, the difference between that Super Ikonta and this Ikonta, outside of the rangefinder, is that this one here is actually going to be a 6x4.5 format camera. So for the Ikonta series, you have 6x9, 6x6, and 6x4.5. which gives you a considerable range in medium format, and not only that, but considerable price point to get into either size. The 6x4.5s, usually you can get those for around $100 on eBay, depending if it's a super or non-super model. Now, one of these cameras I actually did take out to demonstrate just how it works, how it loads, and that is the 521 6x4.5 model, the third camera. Now, this one is a little different when it comes to loading it. It isn't much like a standard medium format camera and how you would spool it on, but then when you go from shot to shot, instead of either winding it until it automatically stops or winding it to a particular number, you actually have two windows and you wind first. Let's say the first number comes up into the right window. That's when your first shot is ready. Then you wind until that first number moves to the second window, and that's when you have your second shot. And you continue doing that. You do that until you get to your 16th shot, since it is 6x4.5. So this is a little particular and peculiar for a medium format camera. But once you really overcome that little obstacle, then this becomes a really easy camera to use. For my little test roll, I actually shot this up in Siskiyou County in Northern California. A really beautiful area, and it's one of those areas that really you have an abundance of subjects. In this case, I literally just came across a junkyard, and that's good enough for me. Afterwards, I did putt around a little bit, just into a couple small towns. Otherwise, it was one of the quickest medium format rolls I've ever gone through. I mean, I could have gone, pretty much 100 feet from where I parked my car, and I would have had a full roll shot. The film that I used is Fomapan 100. That's one of my go-to films these days, not only for the price, but I really enjoy this level of tonality and contrast that you get with Fomapan 100. I know it's not everybody's film, but if you are going to be shooting black and white 120 and you're trying to save some money, this would be the go-to film stock in my mind. So there you have it. There's my roll of Fomapan 100 that I shot in my Ikonta 521 6x4.5. It's a I guess it'd be a viewfinder lens instead of a rangefinder edition. And anyhow, the results are absolutely stunning. As you can see by some of these images here, I would say the sharpness of this Carl Zeiss Ikon Tessar lens is more than sufficient, and you have the economy of getting 16 shots versus 12 or 10 or 8 like the other formats. And I think that in itself really makes this camera worthwhile if you want to really get into the medium of 120 film, and if you really want to experience just the true fidelity and the true resolution, I guess you could say, of medium format.